From Illinois, Mr. Foster, who's also the chairman of the Subcommittee on Financial Institutions, now recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chair Davidson, and thank you for joining us, Director Gacki. Now, Director Gacki, in November of last year, FinCEN issued an alert warning for financial institutions about the increase in identity fraud schemes associated with the use of deepfakes and created with generative AI tools. Criminals are using Gen AI to cheaply mass-produce false identity documents and circumvent live identity verification and authentication methods in online transaction. I appreciate FinCEN's efforts to raise awareness of these scams, and I encourage you to do more, because it's clear that Gen AI and the deepfakes that they produce will continue to become more believable and accessible as time goes by. Now, I believe the best tool that we have at our disposal today to verify identities online is a form of secure digital ID. And the tool at hand is the mobile driver's licenses currently being issued by several states. And in fact, most countries, including all countries of the EU. Digital IDs can allow consumers to prove they are who they say they are in online transactions. A verified credential attached to a secure mobile device creates a reliable system that's extremely difficult to fake. I believe this technology would go a long way towards stopping identity fraud in the banking system, and also with fraud in government benefits. It is, however, my understanding that many financial firms do not feel that they have the regulatory go-ahead to start using digital IDs and digital driver's licenses in their AML KYC processes, and that they need guidance from regulatory agencies like FinCEN to start implementing this technology in online transactions. I think there's also a federal role in providing federal standards for what states are providing adequate digital driver's license, and some may need improvements. So my question is, do you expect FinCEN will take steps to provide the clarity, regulatory clarity, for firms to start using these for KYC purposes in online transactions?
Thank you, Representative Foster, for that excellent question. And I also want to thank you for your focus on this issue across many years. I want to note that this is certainly something that FinCEN is looking at. Questions of identity are critical to our work on fraud. And you know, the misuse and of identity, whether it's using generative AI or less sophisticated techniques, is something that we are very, very much focused on and looking to ensure that we are providing the best guidance we can to financial institutions. I would like to, I want to commit that I will work with my federal banking agency colleagues to look at what further guidance we can provide to financial institutions on this matter. This past year, we did work with our with our federal banking agency colleagues to work on how to adjust how financial institutions can adjust their processes, including in terms of collecting and verifying taxpayer identification numbers in use of customer identification programs. But I look forward to looking at this more closely and seeing what we need to modernize in terms of guidance for financial institutions going forward.
Yeah, thank you. And I think there's also an important federal role that doesn't yet exist, which is to verify, to specify which cell phones are actually safe to deploy digital IDs on them. Because it's well documented that certain early model cell phones had a secure enclave that was not in fact secure, meaning that someone could go and hack your cell phone and impersonate your digital driver's license, which would obviously be a disaster if someone used them. So we will need at some point probably a federal agency or someone they delegated to call balls and strikes on this version of a cell phone is okay, it's got an adequately secure enclave, this one cannot be used. You know, that's sort of being done by Apple in its ecosystem by just saying we're not supporting the iOS for once you know, phones get old enough. The Android system is a complete, you know, so it's less organized, and it will be difficult to do that. But this is an important role. And if you could, for the record, come back and give us some suggestions on what is needed there to specify when we can trust the silicon in different versions of cell phones and where that federal agency is best housed. Because right now, DOD does some of it and other agencies do some of it, but there isn't an organized standard federal way to do that. And I think it's a missing piece here. Thank you. My time is up.